another banger.
So hi guys, welcome back to Life Documented. This video will talk about my whole reaction and feeling to this corona debacle. I know a lot of you guys are thinking about it. A lot of you guys are looking for things to fill up your space, fill up your time. However, I would like to ask us all to take a moment to think of what exactly our experiences with corona so far. What are the pros and what are the cons? And hopefully this will make for a period where you can thrive. So I have listed some of the things that say I was a bit antsy with, things that I wasn't very settled with at the start of this whole corona. And one of them would be, I was stressed initially because with the increasing gravity of the matter and offices shutting down, there was a lot of pressure to close down offices, and with that there was a lot of pressure to complete what we do before the offices are shut. So I would say in the second week of this whole nonsense, I was very stressed. I wasn't like, ooh, we're going to work from home, I'm going to be chilled. But there's a lot of work I needed to do, and a lot of work that we needed to be done. At my place of work at the moment, I have finance responsibilities, and we were closing out our financial year. So that was one thing that was stressed. We had to get all payments done, all vendors cleared, statement of accounts, verifying all that type of thing before the turn of our financial year. So that was one bit or one aspect of my work that had me stressed out a bit. Over and above that, there was also the challenge of supporting the rest of my team members, the rest of my colleagues, into making that transition into working from home. So that was one thing that, piling all the work. So you're here trying to deal with this thing, then on the other hand you're trying to support the rest of your team, support the rest of the organization, and at the same time still maintain your sanity and do your work. So COVID came without an alarm, without without a heads up. You'd be like, hey yo brah, I'm about to turn your world upside down, so get your act right. But
it is what it is. It is what it is.
Another thing that really stressed me out initially was the fact that we all had to quarantine real fast, and that meant less travel, less FaceTime with friends, less FaceTime with family, because you don't know where you're going to get the disease from. You want to stay safe, both for yourself and for your family and for your neighbors. So that abrupt removal from your social life because of COVID was very stressful for me initially. Over and above that, I think I did experience some level of anxiety, and this is because the first 2 weeks I wasn't fully at home. I had shughuli, I had work to go to, I had things I had to wrap up. So there was the paranoia that you may contract corona on some of those errands. For example, one time I went to Sarit, and I was with my baby brother. We were going to look for a phone. So we went to the Safaricom shop. They had a thermal gun temperature thingy. So they took our temperatures. I was very delighted to see that it was only 35.1, and I was like, hey yo brah, your boy's clean, Yeah, and his temperature was alright as well, still in the same neighborhood. However, when I got into the shop, I couldn't bring myself to touch anything. Couldn't touch the phones, I couldn't touch the surfaces. Literally, I was walking around with my hands in my pocket because you might touch the teller's counter and contract it from there. So even in terms of payment, it was all mobile for me. And here is where I shamelessly plug CBA Loop. Yeah. So if you have guys at CBA Loop and they've seen this video, holla at your boy. So yeah, there was that anxiety that you might contract it from somewhere and bring it home, and the thought that I would bring this disease home and it would affect the whole of my family was very unsettling for me. Another thing that I found a bit easy to deal with was watching news. Makes it very alarming. The exponential rate of contraction is very scary, and our media did not stop and think what sort of emotions they are going to transmit to the audience, to the nation, to the population when they have grim or very alarming headlines. So yeah, but I dealt with this easily because I would just not watch the news. Everybody's talking about corona, so I would hear how many people have contracted. There are a lot of groups that share very helpful information in terms of how do you avoid contracting, how do you deal with it, how the best preventive measures for this. And there was also hantavirus, which tried its luck, but one hit wonder. So yeah, however, it was not all bad for me. There are a lot of positive things that have come out of the experience as well, and some of them are when I got to stay home with my family. We got to chat, we got to bond. We were all seated at the dining table and enjoying each other's space, knowing what is actually happening in all our lives. Pre-corona, people would be very busy with their own lives, very busy with their own things. So corona gave us the opportunity to actually slow down and connect with each other. Second thing that I'd say is an advantage of the whole debacle is the fact that I got to be very productive, and this is due to the simple reason that I am now in charge of my schedule. I still wake up at the same time as I would have if I was going to work. So that gives me a few hours extra in my day for me to do things I'd like to do. The fact that there is limited movement as well meant that you're able to schedule your time and keep to a schedule, and with that you can actually get a lot of work done. The third thing that I think I'm very excited about is I have managed to exercise consistently. I usually go on a cycle run in the morning, and it is because that time that I had for my commute is what I'm using to put in that exercise space. Vox actually said that it's the second best thing you could do after quitting smoking. So yeah, I get to release some endorphins which give me a good high. This sets me up for a very productive and successful day. Another thing that I enjoy is I actually get to
Coronavirus! Coronavirus!
I actually get to see my neighbors, some people who we live in the same neighborhood with, and I'm probably not familiar with them. I can now recognize your faces, say if you are walking into town, and I'd be like, do you live place X? And I see a few people, I see families, and it's very encouraging that people are using this time to better themselves. They're using this time to get healthier, and it's a good opportunity. So exercise, guys, but maintain your social distance as well. Another thing that I have taken advantage of during this period is the fact that I've taken time to connect with nature, and it is something as simple as going to the lawn, spreading your shuka or whatever, and just taking the time to sit outside, watch the trees sway. You'll hear a few birds, go with your book. I actually took the time and tried different forms of art, and developed an appreciation for them. Like, I listened to reggae.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I listened to reggae, and this is a big thing. Most of my friends would know this is a big thing because I have never been the type to listen to reggae. I am freaking wearing a GU shirt. How many of you guys remember G-Unit? If she doesn't remember G-Unit, she's too young for you, bro. I got to listen to reggae music, I got to listen to rock, I got to listen to some apparent greats, somebody like Pink Floyd. So I don't know how many of you know the guy Pink Floyd, but if you do tell me how many Grammys he's won in his career, down in the comment section below. The correct answer might get something. I took the time to sit in nature and think about the effects that we as humans have on nature, and how this period has allowed nature to heal. We saw levels of air pollution decrease in China. We also got to see the level of water pollution in Venice, Italy, decrease and the water becoming clearer. We saw fish and dolphins return to Italian waters, and this thing went as far as The Guardian putting out a headline as nature taking back Venice. So it is a time for us to think about our environment and think on the effects. The next time you pick up that bottle of single-use plastic, you should think about it. And to conclude, the last bit is I started a project, a side hustle of sorts, and I will be sharing that in the next video, so stay tuned, subscribe, follow, put the notification bell on, and until next time, see you guys.